And Arlene, can you see my screen? Perfect. Can you see me now, my picture? All right, thanks, Nancy. All right, my name is Rick Redford. I am the area president for North America and happy to be your host tonight. And just a little bit of house cleaning. So we've got a couple of specials going through the end of August. I know there's a few challenges with loyalty shopping, so bear with us. But Optimal V and Optimal M in loyalty shopping this month, as well as the Purity water bottle and filter. And these are good through the end, but through tomorrow, actually. And you know what? Since we've had some challenges, we're going to extend it into September because I know that there has been a few challenges. So for those of you who have had a hard time, you know what? We want to make it easy on everybody. Also, Wellness Wednesday, thanks, Pam. Wellness Wednesday, I'll take kisses anytime. Wellness Wednesday, this Wednesday is Dr. Ray Strand, and he is the chairman of our scientific advisory board. You're not going to want to miss this. He's going to be talking about MOA, which stands for Mother of All, right? We have like the mother, the father. Remember, I hate to even bring this up, A&W or higher, which one had the baby burger and the mama burger and the papa burger and is that A&W? I think so. Anyway, we've got the mother, the father, the aunt, the uncle, grandma, and grandpa of nutrition. The mother of them all is MOA, and the other ones are the family members. And then a following week on Wednesday, we have Dr. Ginger, and she's going to be talking about purity, perfect timing with purity. Also, you're going to start seeing a lot more information coming out starting tomorrow about our event in October. You're going to start learning about speakers, who's going to be there, who's going to be sharing. We are going to break tradition like nothing before. Like we're going to have 157 panels. No, I'm kidding. We're going to have a bunch of panels though, and experts in certain areas. We're going to have so much fun. I'm excited about this event. And I realize, as we said earlier in the call, our friends from Canada still don't know if they can travel, but everyone else should be able to, including Mexico. So this says through August 31st. I am making an executive decision as we speak. We're going to extend this into September because of the unknown travel situation. So early bird pricing on the single ticket as well as the 10-pack is going to continue into September. What date? We'll figure that out. But we want you to experience this. It's going to be a fantastic event. Now, before we get into recognition and I bring in my cubicle partner, I just want to share again, and I don't think we can say this enough. This convergence of the two companies is a little painful. Elephant in the room, right? It's not 100% smooth, and hopefully you've had a chance to see the videos that Cam and I did last week where we were walking through the process of a smart link, which is working. There's a couple of little cumbersome pieces to it, but you know what? It's working. You can enroll a new member. You can place customer orders. And yes, we are improving that process and making it a lot more intuitive, but a lot of people are like, it's not working. Well, it is. You just need to know how to work it. So if you haven't seen those videos, go in and watch the videos and learn. But we will be making improvements. We're making improvements every day. And I promise you that this is going to be a beautiful system. And when it's done, you can see pieces of that. Like when you see the website's beautiful. We've had people who have seen it that are outsiders that have said, wow, that is really a beautiful, well-functioning website. And everything else will be equal to that. So I'm excited about that. And I will bring on my cubicle partner, Mr. Dan Cawley. Dan, are you there?
I'm here, your work wife, checking in for duty.
Hey, work wife, how are you?
Doing good.
Awesome.
Cubicle partners, that's a fun title.
Yeah, why not? All right, well, let's get into our recognition.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
I know. Let's start with new team lead. And team lead is like step one. We love team lead because it is the first step in your growth, in your progress, in your title advancements. And guess what? If you're going to get to chairman, what do you have to go through first, Dan?
Well, you got to start with step one, and that's team lead.
Amen. All right, so let's hear for our new team lead. Let's hear for Ashley Milano from Missouri.
We have Audrey F. Bingham from Texas.
Kay Sefan from California.
We have Kim Edmonds, Alabama.
Matey Blanton from Virginia.
Rochelle Salisbury, Georgia.
Let's hear it for Sadie Thompson in Utah.
And Steve Dingman in Colorado.
Zachary Bingham from Texas.
And up in Canada, we have Melissa Pelletier from Quebec.
And Patty Lynn McKay from Alberta. Let's hear it for our new team leads. Look forward to sharing that as they progress through the title. So new senior team leads, and you earn this with lifetime earnings of $200 USD. Edwina Washington from California.
And oh boy, Keely Majavti. Oh, I'm just going to say Keely from Alabama, and I apologize for messing up your last name.
And you can see it there. So Keely, we're sorry. We need to learn whatever language it is. So
Majaviet. Majaviet. How about we go with that?
Okay.
There we go.
Luz Remache from New York.
And Matthew Pointer from Alabama.
And from up in Canada, new senior team lead, Danielle Gouinet from Quebec. So congratulations to all of our new senior team leads.
Congratulations.
Awesome. New supervisor, and you earn supervisor with a lifetime earnings of $400 USD. Jennifer Alexander from Florida.
And Sarah Michna from Texas.
And Guylaine Hille from Quebec. Congratulations, Guylaine. If I pronounced that incorrectly, I'm so sorry. All right, new senior supervisor, jumping right to senior supervisor. We earn this with lifetime earnings of $600 USD. Jody Flynn from California. It's here for Jody. Congratulations, Jody.
Also, Jody, well done.
Well done. Now we're leaping to senior vice president. And you earn this with 1,000 in lifetime earnings plus 5,000 in payline volume in a given week. Go ahead, Dan.
We have Dylan Nieden. Oh, man. Needen. Dylan Needen from South Dakota.
Way to go, Dylan, and way to go, Shauna, because I know you had a lot to do with that. Congratulations. That's awesome. We have a new officer this week. And you earn that with lifetime earnings of 1,000 USD plus payline volume or combined payline volume of 6,667. We're really excited about this one tonight. She is something special. Please congratulate Sonia Enfinger from Alabama. We love you, Sonia.
Oh, Sonia. I know there was a lot of work that went into that one. A lot of people pulling together. Sonia, congratulations. Love you, darling.
She's awesome. All right. Well, congratulations to all of our title advancements tonight. We love all of you and congratulations. We look forward to your continued progress if you're from Canada. All right, Dan, and thank you.
Thanks, Rick. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the call.
Perfect. We'll see you in the morning. We've got a couple of great transformation stories tonight, and I'm excited about both of them. So let's get started. First of all, Sharice Martin has a transformation story. She's a senior supervisor. And Sharice, I don't know if we have a beef with you. We don't, sorry. Okay, so Sharice, can you unmute yourself? We'd love to have you tonight. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
We are doing fantastic. Thank you for joining us tonight, being willing to share.
Thank you for having me. There might be a little noise in here. We left in Vernon and drove to Calgary, just outside of Calgary, to help our son and daughter-in-law and grandson move. And we just brought in the last load like 5 minutes before I plugged on here. So I'm hoping they'll be quiet. So
awesome. Well, listen, the floor is yours. You can take a breath since you just brought another box in. Go breath, and the floor is yours.
Yeah. I would just like to share a few things with you. I've been with the company or the business for about 3 years, and I came in with Lucerity About a week and a half, where suddenly we had a meeting and discovered that we were becoming RX. And I went, oh, who's RX? Okay, cool. I was actually totally fine with that. I just saw so many great products in there. And was shortly after that I had started with the business that I fell. Broke my hand in 22 places in my wrist bones and was in severe pain for a long time and started using Elite. And that was a saving grace for me. It was absolutely huge. And I thought, wow, if this can do this for me, maybe this can help my husband. My husband has MS, and he, pre us moving to Vernon, had several MS attacks and lost the ability to speak, couldn't walk, was in a wheelchair, was upset. And just with himself and not being able to do anything, he couldn't go to work. He ended up on disability at 49 years of age, which really made some huge financial changes for us. And I started him on Elite because he was getting out of bed in the morning and walking down the hallway and sitting down on the couch and falling asleep. He could not function. Willow. And he just was just unable to do anything. And lots of times could walk. He cannot speak to this day. He doesn't speak clearly. He's lost the ability to write. And a little while after that, he had suffered from lots of pain in his stomach, and they kept attributing it to his MS. I had started him on the optimals because I had the opportunity to listen to Dr. Strand and speak, and he just resonated again with the doctors who had heard before about taking proper nutritional supplements. Started going on the proper Willow supplements, and also started him with MOA and the Elite, and saw huge gains in him. The ability to walk. Before, he could only walk about 5 or 10 steps away from our house, and that was it. He was done. He was suddenly walking with me, for half an hour or more and back, and not having any problems or issues. And that sold me on this business, and the nutritional supplements and the products that there were. Saw huge major changes. And one of these stomach attacks he had, I ended up taking him back into emergency. And this time they said, okay, we're going to keep him and figure out what's going on. And it turned out that he had Crohn's, and they removed 12 inches of his small intestine. So while he was in the hospital, I fed him Elite and MOA. Within a week, he was home. We left. We drove 7.5 hours to a wedding, and he was there for the wedding. And in 3 years, he's now just saw his Crohn's doctor again. And he said, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you're doing is great, because there is no Crohn's. You're good. And we've started on Noni. Absolutely fabulous product. I have 2 new customers on Noni and a new customer taking Elite. And I've seen huge changes within myself. As far as my stress levels this summer have been really high with the forest fires, which is actually across the highway from my house. Yep. And that's been, for me, it's Noni in the morning, and the MOA and the Elite and the optimals and everything that I put my hands on. And I have to try it. I have to use it. I have to feel the difference in it. I recommend this business to anybody and everybody. I see huge gains for myself, my husband, my family. My mom and dad are on Magna Kel D. They use Elite.
Awesome.
The Noni, I can't say enough. You guys are fabulous, and I love the opportunity that new brands have come in, and they're here under this great big huge family, and I am so incredibly grateful to be part of this, and I thank you.
Therese, thank you so much for sharing tonight. And just a reminder to everybody, we don't cure or make claims of healing or curing, or we don't treat disease. But there's something I've learned in my 30 plus years of being in the health and wellness industry. that our bodies are amazing God-given healing machines. And when we feed those machines proper nutrition and nutrition actually that gets to the cellular level, that our body's able to do what it's meant to do. And that's what this is really all about. This is really intense food, really, when you think about it. And we're not able to absorb a lot of the nutrients that we take, or our food supply is doesn't have what we need. And so, Sharice, congratulations. It's awesome that you're able to experience so many of the benefits from our products. And thank you again for sharing tonight.
Thank you. And thank you for having me. And yeah, I always make sure I say we don't treat, diagnose, cure, but I do say I share.
That's right. Well, thank you again for being with us tonight. So next up, and I will share my screen. We have a special guest. Her name is Mary Anderson, and she's a team lead. And I'm going to show you her pictures, and then I'll turn some time to her. But this is amazing. I love this this picture. Sorry, I thought we had two. So please take Mary. Are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks. And thanks for sharing tonight.
Thank you. Well, this has been a long progress. I started in having a problem with my weight, I guess about 2000, once I moved from Florida to North Carolina without a lot of friends, and was diagnosed about 2004 with diabetes. And I wanted to ignore it, not do anything about it, until recently, about December last year, I went to the doctor and they told me my A1C was 9.9. And so I got real scared. I was looking to have a stroke in a day. And so I had a friend who works with Noni, and she said the competition was out. Why didn't I try that? And I didn't think I would do well because I didn't like those pictures before and after. So I began to use both products and to go on the intermittent fasting, you know, the 16-8, and I did the SlenderX and XL, and also I did the shakes. Their shakes helped me a lot because I had a lot of cravings, especially for starch, breads, any carbohydrates. Oh, those are my favorite. So having the shakes to take place of a couple of days meal, pre-plan ahead of time. So I was at, let's see, starting out when I went to the doctor in December was 173 pounds. And by March, no, by the time of the contest, I had lost just 1 pound. But when I went back in April, on the 13th, I had already started the contest. Within 2 weeks, I had lost almost 10 pounds. My A1C then was, I think it was 6.0. So I just recently went back to the doctor and it was 5.2. And of course, I'm down to 150 with him, but that been 2 weeks ago. So I've lost several other pounds because I went back on the maintenance program of the SlenderX. And I have felt good. I was able to get my brother to use the Noni to soak his foot because he was having some terrible problems with the dry skin, all kind of bacteria, and the dermatologist wasn't doing him any good. So I wrapped it up, and within a couple of months, no problem. He's walking, his skin is great, the colors came back, and it's a great product. I like them all. And so the diet is the best thing to help me out because I don't know where I would be the way I was going. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And again, just as a reminder that we don't treat or cure or make claims relative to disease. I think it's important to know that we don't need to, because again, as Mary described, you know, our bodies are meant to be in homeostasis, which is balanced health. And yet because of lifestyle choices in most cases, and that mostly eating. Like I love food. I am just not gonna lie. Mary, I see you shaking your head. I said, looks like you do too. I do. I love good food, and you know that's not the best cure for maintaining my weight. But the reality is, you know, paying attention and doing the little things. Did you adjust any of your exercise at all, Mary? Did you?
Yes, I walk in the mornings about 15 minutes. That was the biggest thing I do. I couldn't take my dog anymore. She got a slip disc.
Mhm.
So that was an encouragement. I have to go by myself. And so I still do that because that's very important to maintaining from 15 minutes to 45 minutes with no sweat. And I was really surprised that I have been able to do that without, no weights, just walking, just walking.
Well, yeah, and the studies have been really, really positive, and a lot lower impact on joints and everything.
Mhm.
Walking is really, really, really healthy. So again, Mary, congratulations,
Thank
and
you.
good luck on your continued health journey.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, and thanks for being with us tonight. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Mhm.
All right, so we have our main speaker tonight, and because we put this out ahead of time, there's no big surprise, but I want to share a few things about Duke. So I got a chance to meet Duke for the first time over the phone, really. And it was the first day I started at RX. And I had a chance to talk to he and Sheila. And I remember when Ian Chandler, who's the president over China, was the chief sales officer at the time. And he was telling me about the whole field. He was talking about RX and the key leaders. And I remember him just smiling when he was talking about Duke. And I had a chance to meet them, and such caring and servant leaders. But I had a chance to be with Duke in Las Vegas. He moved from California, he and his beautiful wife and two children, most recently from California to Henderson, Nevada, just outside of Las Vegas. And we had an event, and the joy, the joy of people from his team that had been locked up in California, being able to actually meet in public, and we had a great time. It was awesome to be with him. But I learned something from Duke. I don't know if I've told him this. I had him on the first call after July 1st this last year. And before consolidation, or it might have been, I think it was this year, or was it last year? Gosh, it couldn't have been last year. And he talked about getting up earlier. And I remember laughing because I am just not a morning person. But almost at the same time, it's funny how intention works. I wanted to get to know my neighbor. He's in the military. He's retiring this next March, but he has had 5 tours of duty. And I really wanted to hear and get to know him better and learn about him. And so he said, well, I walk every morning. And I said, do you want a walking partner? And I said, absolutely. Or I asked him that, and he said, sure, yeah, that'd be great. And I said, what time do you go? And he said, 4. And I said, okay, can I maybe negotiate that time with you? And so we negotiated 5, and we started walking every morning. And I have to admit, what Duke taught that day on our call really works. And that is getting up a little bit earlier, starting your day earlier, how much more productive I feel. So Duke, I want to thank you for that urging. And it's something that all of us can learn from these calls. So please welcome Chairperson, a member of the Founders Club of RX, one of the youngest millionaires in our industry's history. He's not 19 anymore, but he was 19 at the time. Now he's like 22. So please welcome Duke Tubtim.
Well, thank you, Rick. And thank you for the introduction. And again, I hope everyone is having a good evening. And I'll tell you, Rick said some really nice things about me and of course our history. And one thing that I say all the time is that it's amazing having Rick on board. I know some of us here are a part or before the convergence part of NewAge, and some of us here are part of RX or Limu or Nucera. I mean, we're literally, all of us are just converging. And as I said, when I met Rick, and this is known because I say it basically to so many teams that I work with, but also Rick has heard it too, that after our initial conversation and I spoke to my wife, I said, I feel very secure where this is going. And I'm not going to go into detail, of course, because that would probably be a story for another day. But as I'm sure you may feel, I'm very excited with where things are going in NewAge. Prior to this talk, actually earlier today in the morning, I asked Rick, is there anything that you would prefer me talking about? Because I would want to throw down certain things that will be relevant, especially out in the field, because I know for so many of us here, we come from different backgrounds, different areas, and the pandemic has really changed different areas. And some of us here, as Rick mentioned with California is just hard to describe, but don't get me wrong, I am sure some of us here may live in areas too where it's very, very strict. And so one thing that Rick brought up is, well, right now we're in the middle of the convergence, so perhaps give my feelings and my 2 cents about it. And definitely, one thing that Rick called it was the elephant in the room. And I don't know if many of you feel that way, but it was something, especially I would say in July, when everything started to, how do I say this, come together. And right now we know we're still in the process of it coming together. I had teammates saying to me, so Duke, are you concerned? Are you worried about everything that's going on right now? And I don't want to assume what they may be thinking. So I asked, so what are some of those concerns? And of course, the biggest thing was the back office, meaning the computer system and whatnot. And this is what I said. And so, as I said, I hope this helps out in the field. And this is literally what I told the teammates that I work with. I said, well, I would only be concerned if things do not get sorted out. And that's the honest truth. And I said, I've known the leadership here. I've known the founders for a very long time. I've known Mark Wilson, Fred Cooper, and a lot of the corporate staff, especially from the RX side. I want to say, is it 18 years now? I'm losing. Yeah, I think it is 18 years. Long time that I've known them, and I've seen them perform, and they're very, very consistent. And so I hope this helps. As I said, I want to share why I'm so confident. And so right out the gate with the founders, they have a very strong track record. And why does that excite me right now? Well, because they want to make the biggest play in their career. Right now, we know NewAge is in the middle of dialing everything in. And one thing that the founders have said, and I really listen to all the little things that they say, is that they want to be north of $3 billion a year in a matter of years. So I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to say in 3 to 5 years. All right. I know the founders are very aggressive, and this is what I believe. If they want to grow NewAge to be that large, everything has to be dialed in. There is no way this company is going to hit $1 billion without fixing all the bugs, right? And so I looked in the past track record, and their track record is very well decorated. Okay, very well decorated. And as I said, I'm going to give you all the logic that goes on in my brain. Many of the founders, Rick Redford being one of them, they are off. This was actually said at that Super Saturday, like off in the sunset of their career, meaning that probably within around 5 years or so, I'm just going to say 5 to 10 years, their goal is to move on, in a sense, right? To pass the reins, because they're at that age. And if they had, let's say, so many of them have such a well-decorated track record, why would they want to disrupt that at the tail end of their career? I think they want to go out with a bang. Does that make sense? Now, north of 3 billion, okay, north of 3 billion is what they're aiming for. Well, I looked up the Direct Sales Association, I believe it's the DSN website, and for RX to go past that amount, that puts them in the top 5. That puts them in the top 5 in the world. Now, why is that significant? Because all the companies, or the majority of the companies that are in the top 5, they've been around for decades. decades. I'm talking about 20, 30, even 50 plus years. So the way I see it is, wow, how many companies in our industry, one, do it that big, right? The way I see it is that this is one in decades that's going to grow to this magnitude. That's how I feel. And so then from there, it's like, do I want to miss out on that? But again, the number one question is, will the leadership succeed with their vision? And this, again, I look at their past track record and I go, they got the ANT philosophy. And if some of us here listen to Jim Rohn, the ANT philosophy is they'll find a way. They're going to find a way no matter what. It's that whatever it takes mentality. And so, as I said, that really, really gives me confidence. Now, from there, what am I doing, let's say on my end? Well, we're preparing. I mean, we're preparing. I feel very strong about convention. I know convention is going to be monumental for so many reasons. I believe it's going to be obviously a big sign of our convergence, but also so many of us are going to finally meet for a first time. Some of us working from other companies are going to meet for the first time and really feel the culture and the direction of where this company is going. For myself, I want to prepare. One thing I tell the team all the time is, hey, if this company's going to go $3 billion, might as well talk about this as well. I saw on an email, Brent Willis saying that he wouldn't even think about, and I'm not quoting him exactly, but this is how I interpreted it, that he wouldn't even think about passing on the reins until the stock is around $50 a share. I mean, that was said in an email. I was looking at the stock and I go, man, the stock is $1. Right now it's around $1.70. And I just think to myself, man, from $1.70 to $50, that's a journey right there. And you know what? I mean, this is probably the best time. I'm not an expert when it comes to investing in stuff in stocks, but this is what I'm saying. You know, I mean, it's a lot cheaper to get in at $1.70 than at $50. And seeing the direction here, I told the team, I go, hey, if the company's going to be worth $3 billion, I want to get my cut. That's how I'm coming across with everyone. Wouldn't you want to get your cut? I want to get my cut. And so we are gearing up right now. And what are we doing on our end as an organization? I'll tell you, as I said, I'm being transparent with everyone. We're reestablishing ourselves right now. Out in California, it's been pretty wild. It's been wild. I hear so many teammates from other states when they message us and they go, we see on the news all the stuff that goes on in California. I mean, you know something's up when there's going to be an election for who knows, we might have I say we as if I'm still in California, but in California there's probably going to be a new governor in the next couple of weeks. They're going to find out. And what did that do? Well, the team that I've worked with, around, I want to say around half of them back in 2019 were like 20 years old, and roughly around half. And I'll tell you this right now, for the team that we have, because I'm just saying we lost a lot of teammates, and it's not due to NewAge. It was really due to the environment of everything that was going on. So let me give you an example, and I'm just going to talk about the people in their 20s within the team that I was working with. So out in California, they were given, of course, people were getting stimulus money, people were getting unemployment. And let me tell you this, we had teammates that were in their 20s that didn't even have a job. They were never employed, and they were getting unemployment. And it's like, you can't convince them to be ambitious if they're getting unemployment and they were never employed. So they were getting good money. They were getting like 4-figure checks. I mean, a PlayStation 5 was like $500, but they'll pay $1,000 because they got the stimulus check. And I kind of jokingly said that, man, it seemed like the people in their 20s in our group, I mean, they became non-existent. And I said, well, they either really got into Netflix or they're getting to pro gaming. That's probably where they're going at this point. We have teammates in the 30s and 40s, and let me tell you, they really reacted to everything that was going on. Meaning, obviously, we all know with the pandemic, the need for improved health, there was a strong desire for that. Everyone wanted to take care of their health. And as I said, people in their 30s, especially having children, they're like, I got to make sure I take care of myself so I could take care of my family. And so people in the 30s and 40s, 50s and beyond, that sector really grew. But when it came to our culture, when it came to our camaraderie, that was completely blown apart. It was completely blown apart. And so what are we doing right now? Well, I hope this helps, because as I said, what I'm sharing is more so how I'm viewing everything. I believe NewAge is going to do big things. I truly believe that. I understand that there may be certain bugs that are being worked out, and it gives me memories of stuff I told teammates. I said, seriously, in where I've worked before, it was way worse, like way worse. Like all the stuff that's going on. I mean, the teammates sometimes tell me, they go, dude, do you know about all this stuff? And I'm like, I'm being honest. I'm not even shaken by it. I'm like, we're gonna be fine. We're going to be fine. I said, I've worked in companies where they were trying to make sure their product worked. You know, I've worked in companies where the computer system just wouldn't function anymore, and we had to draw our tree with paper, and we had to put our tree on a wall and take pictures of it to get to and prove that the tree is real, so we can get paid. You know, and so I'm like, we have a functioning back office. I mean, as I said, they're just dialing it in. We know our products work, right? I mean, we see so many amazing stories of how people feel when it comes to the products. All that's dialed in. So the question, I said, is the vision of the founders and their track record. Let's just live in the future. 3 to 5 years from now, would we look back and go, man, like everything got done, everything got figured out? What if, I know Tesla right now is on fire. What if NewAge could be that Tesla in the network marketing industry, right? And I'm saying what if, my brain says I think it's gonna be. But let's talk about Tesla. Around 5 years ago, everyone was laughing. I mean, again, going back in history, everyone was laughing at their stock. Everyone was laughing at their stock value. And now everyone's like, wow, man, like if you had a lot of Tesla stock in the past couple of years, everyone said, man, you made it. Wow, you made it. But as I said, I mean, Tesla had it way worse. I was doing, again, just some research on Elon's background. And in 2008, now NewAge is nowhere near this scenario. But in 2008, Elon said on interview that they were 3 days away. Tesla was 3 days away from going bankrupt. Now, as I said, NewAge is nowhere near that. And so if I see where NewAge is going and they're going to do it big, all I think to myself is, how do we prepare? How do we prepare ourselves, our teammates, right? How do we contribute into the NewAge community so that way we can all thrive? And I truly believe that, because one thing I know about organizations or companies that explode, it's when everyone within the company is like in sync and everyone's on fire. And so again, what am I doing on my end? Well, in California, we had to learn how to shake hands again. And the irony is we couldn't do it in California. We had to do it in Nevada. It was the weirdest thing, right? When teammates came together, it was weird. It seriously was. People were just staring at each other for a couple minutes. They didn't know what to do. Like everyone had their mask on, and then finally, like, maybe we should, fist pump. And then it turned into a handshake. And then, teammates like, you know what? I haven't hugged in so long. They just wanted to start hugging. And I'm like, wow, like who would have thought in our time, like we would be experiencing this right now? And what we're doing is there's this to-do list, and I'll end it with this. Okay, because I said, what drives us is, if NewAge is going to do it big, how much of a cut do you want? If NewAge is going to do it big, how much of a cut do you want? I watched, football here and there. My dad was super into football, but the analogy that keeps popping into my mind is this: if you know that the quarterback is not going to get tackled and the quarterback is going to throw that football, are you going to be the wide receiver? Right? Are you going to be the wide receiver, and are you going to grab that ball? And everyone, or not everyone, but I would say, I'm sure in the past month, a lot of people were questioning, is the quarterback going to have the football? Is the quarterback going to throw the ball? And what does the ball represent? To me, the ball represents, I would say, the opportunity. Will the opportunity perform the way it needs to? right? And this is how I feel. I'm sure you could see in my eyes. Yeah, the quarterback for sure is going to throw the football, for sure. We just have to be ready in a position to receive it. And so that's what we're doing. So what did I do with the team? We made a big to-do list of everything we need to do to prepare. Because again, when NewAge throws that football, we want to be there to receive it. And we know it's not just going to be us. See, what's great about NewAge and how far it's going to climb, and their goal is 3 billion. We know it's going to go beyond that. There's so much to go around. There's so much success to go around. So anyways, that's how I feel. And those are my thoughts. We're excited for the future. I know many of us here, we haven't met on whether it be live in person. I know conventions coming around. I'm even going on social media a lot more. As I said, we're preparing. It's a to-do list. And I said to myself, Duke, go on Facebook more. Duke, go on Instagram more. You got to prepare. This is going to be a big play. So anyways, I hope you're all getting prepared. One thing I tell the team all the time is make sure you get your cut. So I'm telling you all the same thing. Make sure you all get your cut because, as I said, I believe NewAge is going to do it big. With that being said, thank you, Rick, for having me. I look forward to seeing you all at convention.
Awesome, Duke. Thank you again. It was so great to see you. And yeah, I enjoyed those hugs, but it was a little awkward. You go up to somebody, you're like going, do I hug? Do I not? But it was great. So, and you've got an awesome team. We look forward to all that youthful energy at conference in October, and as well as everyone else. So Duke, again, thank you for being with us tonight and sharing your thoughts. It's awesome. And Mary and Cherise, thank you for kicking off our call and getting the energy up and sharing your messages. It was fantastic. I want to thank Anthony always for helping out with the call and being he doesn't get paid for that. Well, I guess he does a little bit, but I don't pay him for helping him on the calls, but he's always so willing to do it. So thank you, Ant. And Dan, my cubicle partner, thank you for my work wife. Thanks for always helping with the recognition. All right, I have a Thoreau quote. All right, so here it is. And this is really applicable to any circumstance, any situation, good, bad, left, right, happy, sad. Live each season as it passes. Breathe the air. Drink the drink. Taste the fruit. And resign yourself the influences of each. So with that,